Hey everybody, so here's another out-of-box review. This time we're going with Revell's Aldrin Rocket Hero series and the Apollo Saturn V rocket itself. 1/44 scale, skill level 2. Not a lot to say on the artwork for the box. Over here is an interesting way to display the model that I'm now considering. What I would have to do, of course, is create a custom stand for it. Otherwise I'll just build it and display it as a single rocket. A couple sentences here. 3,000 tons for the whole thing. Developed 1,000,000 pounds of thrust and was the largest rocket of its day. I don't know if the new Ares rocket series from NASA tops this out. I know that's just over 300 feet tall. This was definitely probably pretty close. If you go online and look for, I think it's Saturn V rocket builders, you'll find a bunch of guys that take all the various Saturn Vs from all the model kit companies and super accuratize them, because all of these are wrong, basically, is the way it comes down to it. Some details here on this rocket gantry, or whatever it's called there. It's just a solid piece of plastic with some lines over it, so I think I'll definitely rebuild that part. I know the bells are wrong, some of the ribbing around the ship here and there. And certainly this close-up of the LEM shows off how undetailed it is. It's basically got some polygons straight on, but nothing as far as detail goes. So I'll try and accuratize this as much as I possibly can. Oh, it looks like there's a couple figures that come with the kit too for size. But yeah, as I say, I'll try and accuratize it as much as I can, but I'm not going to go crazy on that. So let's pop the box open and see what we get. So this is definitely a big box, well over 2 feet, or at least just around 2 feet. So I'm definitely interested to see how much space the parts actually occupy. And it's not too bad, definitely a lot of space in here. But the size of the rocket, I'm definitely happy about how that looks like it's going to go. I don't imagine I'll be using this base at all. This looks pretty cheesy. I doubt I could build my own rocket gantry as far as the launch tower goes, but we'll see about that. So just like the other two models in the Buzz Aldrin series, you get a little gold palm leaf symbolizing a representative of the one they left on the moon. Looks like we got at least one loose part here. Yeah, this bag is ripped open and probably a few parts are loose. So you get one bag, 2 bags of parts. Without even looking, I know these decals are inaccurate. So I don't know if I'll be printing up my own or just use these regardless. Let's take a look at the instructions real quick. The stapled booklet. I don't know if I've seen a stapled booklet yet. It's definitely a good size here. Probably 9 by 11, somewhere in there. So far it looks like this is going to be a fairly in-depth build. It's too bad the rocket bells are cut in half like that, but I suppose it's pretty much very difficult to build them any other way. So there's definitely going to be some ugly seams that I'm going to have to get rid of there. This flip hatch here for releasing the LEM, we'll see if I go with that or not. Some 144 people. I kind of doubt they'd be standing around quite so close. So 10 major sub-assemblies, all broken into several different builds each. Collapsible legs on the LEM, that's an interesting little detail. And then a final painting guide on the back along with decals as well. So let me break the bags open and we'll see what kind of trees we got here. So basically 4 different sprue or a tree's worth of parts. Silver plastic can be very difficult to work with. We'll see how this goes. Various glues can melt the plastic or the paint that's in there, or the dyes or whatever is used to make it silver. So I'm not looking forward to that, but I'll be very wary of it. Some of the details over here. The LEM is definitely soft. If this is a repop of the old 70s kit, like 1970 itself, then I could certainly understand that the molds are wearing thin. Detail in here is not a solid piece like I had thought, but that could still be worth rebuilding in brass. The stairs on the LEM lander leg here are a little more detailed than I thought they would be. Let me switch over the focus. So some of the details on the rocket body itself are fairly sharp. These little RCS packages here are definitely no good. There's not going to be any way for me to replace those though. Soft details all on that one. Some of the ribbing in here looks pretty sharp, but I also happen to know that some of it doesn't belong there whatsoever. I'll have to do my research and get all the reference down first before I make any definitive decisions on what I'm going to do about these parts. One interesting thing here is these two sprue look like they're just kind of jammed together, but in fact they are molded to the same piece here. Oh, maybe not. Wait a second. Maybe they're just these two pieces are jammed together real good. Well, that just broke free anyway. And there goes that one. Alright. So it looked like they had actually molded these together, which would have been kind of crazy on their part. But it's not the case. The plastic itself is nice and sturdy. It's not too cheap or too expensive as far as the material supply goes to begin with. And these are definitely some good parts. So once this is built, this will have a fairly decent overall size to it. Should be a couple feet, I imagine, now that I'm looking at it. So this would be stage 1, and then what? We got stage 2 here. Then we got a third stage, so it'll be like 18 inches tall, I think, in the end, which is pretty good for a kit. This is in scale with the Discovery shuttle and boosters that I've got, so I'll definitely be displaying those together. And if I do go for a lot more real space like I want to, then it looks like 144 is the scale that I'm going to be sticking with a few exceptions, because a 172 shuttle would be really great to have. So I guess that's basically it for this review. Definitely a good amount of parts. Not too complex like something like Heller's Space Station. So I'm looking forward to that. I think this makes my 4th or 5th real space model kit. And again, if you look around for Saturn V builders, you'll find some good websites on how to accuratize this. If you go over to Resin Illuminati and check out their real space section, I think you'll also find a couple builds, not only of this rocket, but the various other Saturn Vs that are out there from all the different producers. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. See ya.